Hello and welcome back, all my Dragon Ball theorists. Today we are exploring the 10 questions that the Heeters asked Zuno, since these 10 questions likely will have massive implications on the direction of the story in this arc. Zuno is a nigh omniscient being who lives in Universe 7 and the guy you want to talk to for intel, as he knows everything that has happened in the multiverse. I really like the Zuno character, so it's good they continue to involve him and hope we get to learn more as the series goes on. Zuno was able to give details of the Super Dragon Balls to Bulma and help Zamasu forge his Zero Mortal plan as well when threatened, so it only makes sense that Elec, who is the mastermind behind the Heeters, asked Oil and Macki to visit Zuno before heading to Earth. We just gotta ask where the Saiyans are, right? Yes, that's important too, but you need to find out a few other things. We find out Elec gave them a list of questions for Zuno, and Macki asked if they can fit in a few of their own questions for selfish purposes. Elec doesn't care, ask whatever you want, as long as you follow the plan. One thing that is important to note, Elec isn't aware of how many questions Zuno will answer yet, so he likely jotted down 4 to 5 extremely important questions they need answers for their plan. It wasn't until Macki eventually gave in to give Zuno a kiss that he said he will grant them 10 questions due to her fiery nature because she is Zuno's type. So the main focus is this list of important questions that Elec gave Oil and Macki. Something you have to be careful with is Zuno will consider almost everything you say as a question. We learned this with Bulma as her 3 questions were quickly dwindled down to 1. When she was upset and asked, "Are you really only going to give us 3 questions because you think I'm old and out of shape?" Zuno said yes, and that was considered a question. There is a chance that 1 or 2 of Oil and Macki's questions will be taken up with similar mistakes. Now that we got the groundwork done for their 10 questions, let's cover them all as Macki asked Oil for the list. Question 1. Where are the Saiyans? Zuno would reveal that they are currently located on Beerus planet outside the known universe, which means question number 2 is, how do we get the Saiyans to come to Earth? This was also revealed in the conversation with Chi-Chi, where Macki says, "Will you summon him here for us?" We heard that Goku isn't one to defy your commands. Which leads us to question number 3 that was asked by Gas when talking to Elec. How do we get the Saiyans where we want them? Elec responds, a great question for Zuno. Everyone has a weakness. Whatever theirs is, we probably have the capital to exploit it. Which is exactly what they do when Chi-Chi says funds are running low. They said they have the perfect job for Goku. Zuno would have told them about how driven the Saiyans are to fight strong fighters, and that Goku listens to Chi-Chi, so Macki was able to set this plan in motion. So the next couple questions will tie in with their theme of talking about weaknesses and power. Elec has put in motion a way for Goku, Vegeta, and Granolah to cancel each other out, but he doesn't like taking risks. He says Granolah is supposedly the mightiest warrior now. So an obvious question will be for Zuno, who are the strongest warriors in the universe? Which I don't know what Zuno will say. Obviously that is a big part of the plot. I'm sure Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Granolah, and Frieza are on it. Remember, Elec told Gas that he is the only member of this family who can surpass Frieza himself. I am sure Elec wants to know where his prize fighter is ranked without actually fighting. They might then ask what are the weaknesses of these fighters as well to keep as a trump card to exploit later. Knowing Zuno, he will consider who the strongest and what are their weaknesses as several questions depending on how they were asked. Which brings us to questions 6 and 7. Tell us about the Dragon Balls and how do we find them? It is revealed that Zuno tells them about the Dragon Radar and that the Earth's Dragon Balls turn to stone for 1 year after someone uses them. However, the ones on planet Cereal don't have a cooldown. Again, this is tricky to figure out if they ask specifically about Earth's Dragon Balls and Cereal's as 2 separate questions. Was it a general question so Zuno told them about Namek as well as the Super Dragon Balls? These questions leave room for all sorts of upcoming plot twists. If they had to ask about Earth, Cereal, and Namek's Dragon Balls separately, that is 3 questions right there. Then how do we find them would mean they only have 1 question left. So what did they do with their final question if this is the case? Do they ask where to find the tastiest grub rolls in the universe? Did they ask everything that was important off Elec's list? I do think it would be funny if they never got to ask for the grub rolls, and I can see that written into the story and them being bummed out about it. I think some questions worth mentioning are, how can you become the strongest in the universe without using the Dragon Balls? Let's be honest, the deal Granolah got sacrificing 150 years of his life in exchange for his power isn't really enticing for most people. So if Gas is really the only one who can surpass Frieza, they might look for other ways to attain power needed to defeat Frieza or whoever is left after Goku, Vegeta, and Granolah fight. For all we know, there could be some new way introduced into the story that can help someone achieve tremendous power. Zuno knows everything, so he would be able to tell us. I know if I was asking Zuno questions, I'd want to know a way to become all-powerful without losing any life. Could Zuno reveal that the key to that power is hidden away inside 7-3? Does 7-3 have powers of Ultra Instinct and Moro hidden inside him? Are there other ways in the universe to achieve tremendous power? I could seriously spend all day asking Zuno questions. 10 is hardly enough. Now tell me, what important questions do you think Elec had on the list for Zuno? If you could ask Zuno one question, what would it be? I always love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it and smash that like button. Also, please subscribe to support the channel and turn on that notification bell to keep those theories coming.